Welcome to the DMF. I am your host, Justin Yance, and today is part 2 of my interview with Amy Manning. She is an entrepreneur and a manager. Enjoy. Moving on. So how did you start Volition Entertainment?
After I left Paris, I wanted to start working with more actors. I just wanted to open it up, and that's what I did. I mean, it was, the timing was not great, but trying to remember the year. It was like 10 maybe. I can't remember, but it was definitely slow moving in the beginning. I mean, I was like, what did I do? This is so much different, than managing one person and traveling all over the world and, just running their business is fun for me. But then managing a ton of people is a whole different thing entirely.
Yeah.
You can't get as involved in each person, which was like it was a learning curve for me.
Yeah.
I guess I learned through failure. I'm painting that picture over and over, but I am, I'm a learner through failure. I definitely am. And I'm okay with that. But if I was failing a little bit in the beginning, I'm like, not good. I was like, I'm not very good at this, but I got better, I got better.
Yeah.
It's a difference of managing being responsible for a lot of different people as opposed to just one.
Yeah.
And
how did you go about approaching it? Just trial by error, or did you, read a book, or did you talk to somebody? Like, how did you go into it? Like you said, it's a huge change.
Right.
One person.
I mean, I knew
multiple people.
Yeah. I knew what I was doing, so to speak, as far as managing, people, but they're not the same. So like if you're managing a developmental actor and then you're managing an A-list celebrity or a major talent, it's different. The day-to-day things are different. What you do is different, and the doors you're pushing this way instead of things coming this way. And I was used to everything coming to me, and I have to go out and look for things. And so
Paris, you're kind of going, okay, now
do we want this?
We don't want this, that. Whereas the other one, you're pushing it. Please see this person.
Please look at it. Yeah. And so it was a ego, bust. And it was also just really humbling and hard work. And I, per usual, I failed a little bit in the beginning, but I mean, I still fail. Don't you fail all the time? I feel like I fail.
Everybody fails. You learn from failure. I mean, I know Peter Thiel says, you don't learn from failure. I was just reading something about that with Peter Thiel talking about.
I love him. It's like, I love him.
He's an interesting guy, but he doesn't believe you learn from failure. He thinks that, you would only exacerbate the failure if you, but I think that might be true with like a huge company. Like you can pretty much see where the failures would happen. But when you're dealing with, individual people and management, I think it's a little bit different. And I feel like you learn from failure. You learn from like saying something wrong or doing, I mean, just this, before I was using a lavalier mic, and it's like the audio was atrocious. I would listen to it and be like, I can't have that.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
So it's like you learn.
I think I'm one of those people like that. Not like Peter Thiel. I love him, by the way. I think he's very brilliant.
He's an interesting guy.
But we are different for sure in that way, that I like to just dive in when I don't really know all of what's at stake sometimes. And in a lot of different situations, I'm like, well, I'll just go, just try it. I'll just do it. I don't know what I'm doing a lot of times, admitted. But it seems to work out eventually. I mean, you got a better mind.
Exactly. If you can make the changes, you do it. Always be open, as what I always say. As soon as you close your mind off to like one way of thinking, then that's where you'll stay. But if you can be open to even listening to people that you might not even agree with, it's just like
so true.
It's always a learning experience.
Yes, I've learned so much from opening myself to people that I don't agree with, just to hear a different point of view. because a lot of times if you listen to the same people, you're just going to stay in the same lane pretty much. And,
Yes.
just have a lot of yes people around you, which is why I always try
Yeah.
with managing people to not be the yes person in the room. They've got enough of those. They've got plenty of those.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks you're great. Okay, got it. Everybody thinks you're great.
Yeah.
You're not going to grow at all with everybody
Yeah.
telling you you're great and wonderful, because you're
Telling
not
you yes.
different.
Oh, you're wonderful. Wonderful. Everything was great. Well,
Yeah.
what did, that's when you got to start going into specifics and be like, okay, well, what did you like about it specifically?
Yeah. What did you
And
like?
then that facade slowly, everything. Well, it can't be everything,
Right. Did you read it?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
What about that part about that? Oh yeah, I love that part. That's not in the book.
Yeah. I've had writers try to do that to me when I'm having a literary meeting. Like trick me and say like, well, what did you think about this part? Didn't ask a question that's not relative. I'm like, I actually read it. I read it.
Yeah.
It's one of my protocols. I do not take a meeting if I haven't read it.
Exactly. Same thing here. I mean, I just interviewed a manager, and I found out he had a book, and I was like, oh no, I gotta humble down and read the whole book that like afternoon, and just was like, okay, can't do anything else, just sit here and read.
Yeah.
So that I can be able to, go. But I just feel like, I owe that to him. It's just like, with Anna Nicole Smith. I mean, I saw that's what you worked on. I was like, okay, I need to sit down, watch this so that I understand, and I can ask you questions about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would just be the basic questions I'm sure you already got. Oh, so good, great,
so good, so good.
What did you like about it? Oh, I love this. What was it about managing though that you found enticing that made you make that jump from Paris to managing into more actors?
I think because with Paris, there was every other angle we had covered except for acting. And it was the one thing that I was really intrigued by. Everything with her was so exciting. It was exciting. It was wonderful and, nonstop. But there was a part of me that was still craving the scripted side of the business and being around writers and actors. And I really just wanted to know what that was like and to have a hand in it. And I did not know what I was doing at all. I really did not know. Again, it seems to be a recurrent theme of this conversation, but I'm just enthralled by it. I'm enthralled by stories. And I think because I'm enthralled by people, and I think I learned so much from narrative, from stories, from people and what they've gone through. And I'm genuinely interested. I'm one of those people that's genuinely interested. When people talk, I'm like really listening, and I really want to know the story. And I just think there's such a great opportunity for media to influence people and change people's minds and hearts, and maybe not even change, but maybe just make them think a little bit differently. And we just have such a great, it's just such a beautiful industry. There are some negative things about it, just like there are with any family or any brand or any company. I mean, anything that's great, you have to go through some challenges to get over it. I really have, I often say a love-hate relationship, but I mostly love this industry, and I wasn't ready to stop yet. I just really wanted to see what this was like. And then once I got into it, I was down this proverbial hole that you can't get out of. And now I love it for the most part. There are days, but I just really, I can't, it's in my blood, I think.
Yeah. Did you find it difficult when you were starting in this form of managing to turn it off?
Yeah. I think you probably asked that question because
Yeah, I do. I can feel it in there, but yeah, I want to hear.
I think you do it too, I guess is what I meant. You can't turn it off. You do it all around the clock, right? Yeah. I think that's the hardest thing, right? And you probably do it too, is you can't turn it off, because it doesn't matter if it's Sunday or it's, proverbial after 5 or whatever people say, and then or in corporate jobs, my job's around the clock. And I tell
Yeah.
the actors, like, call me, text me, whatever,
Yeah.
telepathy, whatever it is. Like we need to talk. Yeah.
I'm summoning you
Yeah.
here.
We need to talk. You think that's funny because I work right now with a hypnotherapist. We're building
Oh,
a show.
really?
And he sent me all these tapes and he wants to hypnotize me. And I was like, I don't know. I'm really scared. I'm really scared about it. But he sent me a CD, which tells you how old he is. I was like, nobody uses CDs anymore, man. We got to change it. But he
Just
sent
give
me
me
a
an
CD
MP3.
and said, just do it on your own first. And then if you feel comfortable with that, then I'll, we'll do a gradual step. And I was like, scary. Anyway, I don't know.
I interviewed a hypnotherapist who uses that with acting. And I had her actually, well, I kind of did what you did. I went and I, learned about what she was doing and, put myself through. And it's like, okay, now I want you to put me through it on the air so that people can, see it, or hear it when, and it's kind of interesting. I mean, it's kind of a form of meditation because it's not really like, I mean, I'm sure there are hypnotherapists out there that can make you do something, but most hypnotherapy is basically you just kind of like quieting the mind enough for you to make the choice.
Yeah. He says it's a power of suggestion.
Yes,
it's a step
exactly.
beyond meditation. I mean, quieting your mind and suggesting to your subconscious mind. So that makes me feel a little bit better. I don't want to be.
Yeah. You should go. You should try it out. I mean, you've got a nice head on your shoulders. You'll be fine. You if you can handle what you've already been doing, you should be okay. You're not gonna lose your mind with. I mean, dealing what you had to deal with on the Anna Nicole and learning all about that. There's nothing that's going to be like that in hypnotherapy.
Maybe I can lose weight or something.
Yeah. Some people do that. They will, I mean, it's not like a diet pill where you are learning a new habit, which is kind of,
that's what he says. The mind is the most powerful.
But you're already in great shape. I already saw your stuff on Instagram. I think you need to lose any more weight. What do you think differentiates you from an agent?
Agents will tell you every day that that they can negotiate contracts and we can't. That's what an agent will say.
They will say that. It's
I get told that at least once a day, it feels like. But I was an agent. When I first,
really? Oh,
when it was after I was a manager for a while. I filed the paperwork and it was really kind of young naivete. I think I thought I'm going to compete with these guys and they're treating me bad. I thought I was trying to be like hardcore. Like I needed to be an agent to be taken seriously. That's what I thought. And so I filed all the paperwork, paid, got a surety bond, everything you have to do in the state of California, which is it's crazy. And opened up and we were in on the lot in Manhattan Beach on the lot down there. And it was crazy, but it was basically the same. I mean, I'm not insulting to any agent because I felt like it was the same thing that I do every day, the same thing I do already anyway. However, I know and respect agents. I work with some very wonderful, lovely, intelligent, amazing agents. And I think I play well with others. I think I love working with agents and I think they like working with me, I hope. Because I don't mind pitching, even though, they're getting a commission as well. And I'm doing part, I feel like we're all on a team. And if our client is doing well, then that's my goal. And my goal is about me, it's about my client. So whatever I need to do that, I'm going to do that. The difference where it changes really is in a developmental client, where you're going out. I'm pushing the ball forward the same way an agent is. We're doing the same job, kind of.
Yes, somewhat. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
It depends on the agent,
True story. Very true story. And then when you get to a there's like a chasm that you cross. And when you get to this level with a talent, then a manager does completely different things than an agent. An agent's pitching you for roles and whatever. I'm doing everything else. Publicists, scheduling, hair, makeup, glam, doing this, doing that, everything else, and overseeing that. But like, you're kind of overseeing everybody, including the relationship with the agent, but everything else. And so it's really bigger. And I think, so to answer your question, and I went all the way around, is that I see it differently. And the reason I had to remind myself after I went through and became an agent and did all those things and spent all that money was that in this early phase, there's not much difference. But when you get to the later phase, which is the part that I really enjoy, it's very, very different. And I like talking to clients. When you have 600, 700 clients, you can't answer your phone. You're pitching all day. And when I was an agent, people would show up to the office. You can't see them. You don't have time. Just don't. Hey, thanks for the coffee. Hey, that's about all you have.
Yeah.
Like right now, I probably have, I don't know. It's bad that I can't think of the number, but I have very few, let me just say that, I have very few clients. Nowhere near 600, 700, not even 100. Nowhere near 600, 700. So my day, I can take a call. I want to take a call from my client. I want to talk to them. I want to know what they're doing. I want to know what's going on with them. And that's the biggest difference for me is I can interact and have time to nurture and grow. And you have to be a lot more selective, and you can't pull the lanes. You're not, there's a total different pacing and dynamic and just cadence to it, I think. But they're both very valid and very necessary. And I love the agents. But
also, you also have more of the long-term vision in some sense too, I would say.
Yeah. Because I see the agent as part of our team, but I think I see myself as like, this is my client, you're an agent we're bringing in, kind of, which is a bad way to look at it, but I'm going to be looking at everything else in the business. And that's just maybe one little part. And I don't mean to trivialize that at all. I'm just.
Now the question probably everybody that's listening is going to ask is, what do you do to find the actors that you don't know?
Oh my God. Yeah. It's hard. Obviously I get pitched, a lot. But I really don't like it to pollute my inbox. I don't mean it in a bad way, but it's hard enough to keep up with I didn't get you in time.
You're kidding.
But so it's hard to keep up with, things but I wish I were a little bit better at it, to be honest, because I really do like to see everybody. I want to talk to everybody. And I'm not typical in that I just want to look at somebody who has X amount of credits. I want to find new talent. I want to find people that I'm jazzed about, regardless of the resume, regardless of the credits. There are people that I just believe in that, it's like a gut. I'm a gut feeling person, and it's a gut. Sometimes it's like what casting directors say. Like sometimes you just know it in the first 30 seconds, and you don't even care what they're saying.
Which is so sad. It
is kind of,
it's similar to like real estate, or like if you go into, in New York, I would go in my apartment, be interviewing people to, be a roommate. You knew in like 30 seconds whether or not you wanted them or not. And then you have to spend the last 5 minutes going,
great.
It's great seeing you.
Awesome.
Call us, give us a call.
You're
not it.
And then actors will say too, like, well, dang, I spent all this time on it and they know in the first 10 seconds. I said, but that's great. It's a testament to you that they just like your energy. Like they feel something from you. And the first, whatever it is you're saying, they know, they've got a feeling for what they want. I relate to that so much because it's sometimes it's
Yeah.
just gut, and it could be based on a character. It's not necessarily whether you're a good person
Yeah.
or a great actor.
It's not personal. I
Yeah,
think that's a thing that we could also look at with Anna Nicole Smith. She took things way too personal. She
she
needs
took
to
every,
realize that this is just show business. They're not trying to hurt you. They're just trying to make money. This is just the way it is.
yeah. It's
You
hard
know?
to put up that armor. I
Oh,
mean,
it's very hard.
like it's your life, it's your day-to-day life. And I think
Yeah.
also she made the mistake of putting her life on television. And that's another, you've got to have
Yeah.
a certain gut to do that. And I don't think I would have it.
No, it's very because now you're surrounded by cameras all day long. I mean, I guess when you get to like the level of like the Kardashians, they can very say, cut the cameras off. We're not putting that in there because
They've got to be
they're
just
executive producers.
now. Yeah. It's probably just like another family member. They're in the
Yeah,
kitchen,
exactly.
hanging out, having sandwiches, whatever.
Yeah, and they probably already have everything scripted out, and they know exactly. It's like, okay, so we're gonna do this, this, and this. Like they're just filming it like a TV show. They're not. It's not like Big Brother where like you're sitting around. There's cameras everywhere, and they're catching the worst moments of your life.
They've been in glam for 2 hours, and they're like, we're gonna have a fight. You're gonna go to the store.
Yeah.
Do this. Then we're gonna come back. We're gonna go to lunch. I'm gonna be upset because you did this, but then I'm gonna be okay. And then we're gonna do this. And I'm
Do you think actors would like it if the casting director did say that and just 10 seconds like next?
No.
like we used to do.
I know they won't. But there's part of the negotiations for SAG is, believe it or not, the craziness that ensues now because of remote casting. I mean, they need that energy. They need it. They need that feedback, good or bad. I think, and that's just my opinion, but I think they need.
I agree.
Good or bad redirection. Next, or great job, or have you thought about it this way? Anything, just anything.
I think there's a little bit of push and pull because by doing everything with self tapes, you're removing the factor that a lot of us actors had to go through when we'd be sitting in the waiting room and you'd have somebody who's playing some kind of mind game on you. So you kind of take that out and the nervousness of going into the room. But like you said, there's no direction. So what you're putting out there may be your best take, but you don't know what they want. You have no idea. You can't ask any questions. I think the next step in the self-tape would be a marriage between the two, some way where we can still do the audition from home, but maybe, the casting director's there, sort of like a Zoom, like we're doing right now, but made for specifically for acting and that kind of world. Is, I know I've talked to casting directors and they've said that they get frustrated because like they can't tell anybody when they're out in the room, the Zoom, like just wait here a minute or something. It's just, you're just going to pop in, so it's
right.
So I see the thing, but I think direction is sadly missing. Although I have talked to casting directors who've said, if they see something that they like, they will, contact them. But then we're getting into, do they have a relationship with the casting director? So you don't have a cast relationship, they're probably not going to do that.
And I mean, we've had some calls to producers on Zoom, and it's kind of the same. I mean, at least you get the interaction and the chemistry and the redirection. But what I guess the issue that I have is that when you send, you pour your heart out, right? And you've sent in this audition and you throw it out into the stratosphere, and then you don't hear anything back, like nothing. So I've been taking a bigger responsibility because I'm hearing from actors. I always just want to hear something. So I try to watch I'd try anyway to watch everything, but I try to actually respond and say, this is what I thought. Here, this, great job, or thank you for getting this in. I really like the way you did, and commenting on something at least about it. But or going through it a million times, which I love to do, so that we make sure that we're sending in something that we really
Yeah.
like, and we're working on it. And my actor knows that I'm invested, at least, if they don't get anything back from casting director, at least we worked on it and workshopped it and made sure it was the best thing that we could do. But I don't know. I see
Yeah.
what you're saying on both sides. And I think I'd love to talk to a casting director about it, but if it makes their job easier, I'm sure it does on a lot of ways. But then
Well, here's the thing now.
also
Casting directors, since they're doing self-tapes, they're seeing a lot more people.
Yeah.
So since they're seeing more people, they're not going to remember everything. So if you're calling in your client, and this is what the managers have said, if you're calling in to find out feedback, unless you hit them on the right day, they don't remember because they've seen so many, or it might be bad, or it could be feedback that's not usable. It's so you're right. I mean, it's that push and pull thing. It's
So it's
I don't know
making
if I would say it's
easier to see.
easier.
To see more people, which means they can do a
Yeah.
better job of casting. And
I know some casting directors miss being in the room and having that because they got into it to interact with actors. They didn't get in it to just sit
Right.
behind a screen and go next. Like it's like
Exactly.
the Tinder for
Yeah,
for
that's what I was about to
acting.
say. Next, swipe right. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you enjoy developing talent? I mean, you've kind of already answered this, but we'll just go a little more in depth on it.
I really do. It's hard, to be really blunt. It's hard financially because and the talent don't understand a lot of times, and so it's a delicate conversation that I really almost never have. I really don't have it with talent. I want to sometimes, and but as an alternative. But
I'm doing
Yeah.
now I'll call them.
yeah, but
That's great.
they don't understand that, like I see something in you, I value you, I'm going to put a lot of energy and time and resources, which equates to money, because time is money.
Yeah.
And the time will not be paid back because we work on commission, everybody knows. And I only get paid when you get paid, and you're not going to get paid for a while. I mean, we got to, we got to start at co-star. You got to start at pitching everything, and you got to be every guy to get, every girl to get on a co-star role on every single kind of show so we can build your resume. And it takes a long time. And so from the general statement, do I love developing talent? Hell yes, I do. Do I like the struggle of it and the financial side of it, and how the actors many times get frustrated and then they want to blame you? That's happened to me a few times. And I have to say, look, it's going to take a while. It's, this is a development. And then
it's like an entrepreneur. You're a startup.
Yeah. It's a catch-22 because I love it. And then a lot of times that blame thing happens when you jump in with somebody and you start to develop them, and it doesn't happen fast enough. They're looking for somebody to blame, and you get the blame. And when it does work, it's great. It's really great. And I love it. But that's why I'm in the business. I'm in it for the people that I love, and that where it works out. I know there's always going to be.
Do you find it's frustrating? Because I'm sure you have to say to them, like, okay, I know you spent a lot of money on these headshots before, but now this isn't what we're looking for. You need to change them. And they're like, what do you mean? We just got them.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I hear all the time. And you know what my answer is, and I've said this so many times that it's almost like a script, but I always say, like, we're meeting now, right? And I'm talking to you, but assuming you're a talent of mine. I said, but you don't know that I look at your picture every single day. Like, I feel like we talk every day, even though we don't, because I'm working for you every single day of my life, every day. So I've seen your pictures a million times. If I've seen them a million times, and casting directors have seen them a million times, you don't look at them every day. They're really good, but they might need a shift. You might need to change things up. And I also try to be aware of everyone's financial situation and things of that nature, but there might be some good shots we could just change out from the same shoot that you
That's a
just
good
did.
one.
Like the
Yeah.
shoot that you did, we picked 5, right? Or 6. Go back.
Yeah.
That's why I always make sure I get all those downloaded in the beginning. Let's pick 5 more. The only thing we'll have to pay is retouch. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yes, usually you get all of them. You can see them all, but yeah, you're gonna, retouch, 3 or 5.
probably some good ones in there still, but it's
Yeah.
just changing it up. You know, like we're humans and we look at the same thing and we get bored. We want to change. We want to change it up. And if my job is to do the best, to give you the best representation, then I'm going to tell you when your pictures need to be. But I think everybody, yes, I understand it from your side.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you get
like, what do you mean you don't like it? You don't like me?
And every time you get a new agent or a new manager, they're going to say it again. Well, I think you need new headshots. I think you need new headshots.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you probably do. You probably do.
But with you, you can go, and be like, well, okay, so what will be the new things that we'll do, as opposed to just, like you said, an agent will usually just say, yeah, we just need new headshots, and they're so busy, they're not going to tell you what to do. They're just going to be like, you could end up just getting things there, like, oh, I like them. Well, they look great. And then like, oh, but we need more new headshots. Wait a minute, what about 6 months ago?
Right.
So I understand. You already answered this, but
shouldn't have to work with me. You mean a new actor or somebody who's already on
a
the
new
roster?
actor, just kind of in general.
I want to be wowed, like I just want to be wowed. I kind of don't want to the same. Nobody likes to feel like they're getting a blanket letter. And I feel a lot of times like if actors the way that your email is coming across, like, dear, please find, whatever.
Dear Amy Manning, please look at my thing. Although to be fair, when I sent out to this, I mean, it's kind of, I spent a lot of time on that letter, to make sure all the punctuation's there, but it's like, how many times can you say, would you please come on my show?
Right. I mean, I'm sure you say that you have to kind of say the same thing, and you've got to go in numbers. I mean, I understand the game. I'm not silly, but
with a manager, you kind of want to have done some research so that like you've done this. I mean, it's hard because it's hard to find research to like stand out in a letter that will make it sound not like, hi, so and so, please, I mean, basically the whole letter is just going to be, please represent me, please represent me, please represent me. But how do you get away from that? It's like, oh, I did this, and this, and now I did this, and that,
I mean, how much can you deviate from that? I guess everybody wants, I always try to, my dad told me a long time ago, like the best way to negotiate with anyone is to put yourself in their shoes. And you have to do that. If you can't look at a situation from their point of view, you'll never come to the middle. Like you'll never come to the middle. And so I try to put myself in their shoes. I think which is crazy to say about actors, right? That's what they do for a living. Actors, you're an actor. But it's hard for them to put themselves in my shoes sometimes. I think if they did that, they might come up with a lot better of an idea. And especially being such beautiful, creative humans. And from somebody who loves actors, I live for actors. So, and writers. So it's not hard to get my attention at all. I just want to feel like you're not, just putting it out to like 30,000 people, and fill in the line.
You look at the thing up there, and it says it's been sent to like
I've gotten those before where it's like undisclosed.
Really?
Yeah. Where it's just,
I would never do that. That would.
And then I got one that said, "Dear fill in the blank," and then I was like, "Ha ha ha!" Just
fill
kidding.
in the blank.
It was. I guess they thought that would be funny.
Not a place to do comedy.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, that about does it for this episode. I want to thank Amy Manning. Please like, share, and subscribe. Consider checking out the YouTube channel. As always, you can find me at Justin Yachts, and I will see you next time on the DMF.